Alright, my 5-minute fix tonight is kind of very interesting because if you are watching television today, you might have seen the nonstop coverage of Johnny Depp's lawsuit against Amber Heard for defamation. It was quite a scene, and the storylines, the headlines coming out of it, he fell asleep on an airplane bathroom, he was physically and verbally abused by Amber Heard, the amount of drugs that they were taking. Look, from what I saw today, is the reason why people in Hollywood could commit suicide because of drug problems or, heartache or just the dark side of Hollywood. We saw the dark side of Hollywood today in that Johnny Depp trial, did we not? With Captain Jack Sparrow as himself, but very, very even-keeled and very, very just... Some would say he was mumbling, but he was just very soft-spoken in a way. But today saw the dark side of Hollywood. And you know what? I'd rather see the dark side than hear, someone like Johnny Depp or whoever kill themselves over this heartbreak. And even being written about in the Washington Post by Amber Heard during the Me Too movement. So I give Johnny Depp kudos for his resiliency on this stand today and dissecting it point by point by point what's going on, or what went on in his marriage to Amber Heard and subsequently what's been going on after that op-ed was written by Heard herself. But I want to give a lighter side to divorce. Because there's a nasty, nasty side of divorce. Celebrity divorce, of all things. But how about this couple? Paul Mattingly and his wife, Laura Lee Estes, has quite a story that People magazine talked about today. 40 years after divorcing, college sweethearts are back in love and married again. Paul says it was love at second sight. You see, these two youngsters at the time got married right after graduating Centre College in Kentucky. And their marriage lasted about 4 years. After they graduated from college, they got married, lasted 4 years. Their divorce came on April Fool's Day of 1984, if you believe that. Well, they did remain friends. They did stay in touch. They did keep going. And then they say the distance hit a snag, made a snag in the relationship. Paul did remarry, and his ex-wife at the time did not ever remarry again until now. So how did these lovebirds strike gold and strike while the iron was hot this time around? Well, Laura Lee Estes, driving home from Plano, Texas to Georgia, asked Paul, who was in Alabama at the time in 2019, if he'd like to meet for dinner. And Paul said, in 2019, I looked at her and knew it was. I looked at her in the eye and I thought, this is it. So maybe 40 years separation matured them. Maybe 40 years grew them both up. Maybe 40 years separation might seem crazy, but maybe could work. And then a marriage later in life, like they are doing now. She's 65, he's 64. Laura Lee said, that best friend you haven't seen for years. You see each other and there's no hesitation. And then just before the COVID pandemic, Paul joined Laura Lee in Texas in 2020. They said they wish they had gotten back together earlier. So, why this is so cool, and by the way, they remarried on February 12th, 2021, holding a Kentucky Derby-themed wedding reception in May of that year. But why this is so interesting to me is that We're seeing the dark side of divorce on our television, and at the same time, People magazine are reporting on this relationship, this love, that clearly did not die in 40 years. And they were just small-town kids that wanted to do well for themselves. Paul became a worker for his father's, a telecommunications company. Laura Liesis was someone that was a librarian and a school teacher. School guidance counselor, sorry. And a private therapist. So they rolled up their sleeves and they worked hard. And then they found themselves in love again. So my 5-minute fix is today: don't let the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp saga and tragedy be the tell-all of what a relationship can devolve into. Because as these two show, love can withstand and can conquer all. That's my 5-minute fix tonight.